Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski has agreed to sell the historic Utah Theater on Main Street in downtown Salt Lake City. In its place, the buyers plan to build a brand new high-rise.
In today's Growing Utah, Fox 13's Haley Higgins got reactions from developers and those who don't want to see the theater torn down. Haley joins us now.
Yeah, hi, Bob and Kelly. Well, Hines and the LaSalle Group signed a formal sales agreement. That's with the city, and that allows them to purchase the century-old theater. Historic advocates gather outside the developer's Main Street offices.
It's important to know that we have support.
Protesting the bulldozing of the theater next door.
I work in architecture, and so I have an affinity for amazing buildings, and that's one of Salt Lake's amazing buildings.
Today, the city confirms Mayor Jackie Biskupski signed a formal sales agreement for the dilapidated property in the heart of downtown.
Every possible financial avenue has been looked at to see if it's possible to restore this theater.
The Utah Theater sits on the property built back in 1918 as the Pantages Theater, a historic movie house that is now in disrepair.
Really hard decision, but the city is just trying to make the best of a really bad situation and bring something to that area that can enhance downtown.
The city bought the property in 2010 with plans to restore it. Estimates show restoration will cost at least $45 million. And today, the city's redevelopment staff echoed it's too expensive.
We don't have a way to finance this project, and therefore we feel that the best path forward, given that we've been looking at this property for 10+ years, is to move on to the next development.
Opponents argue the restoration numbers are inflated, citing sister theaters across the country that were recently renovated for less than $10 million. That's not doable in earthquake-prone Utah, according to developer Joel LaSalle.
These people are uneducated.
In place of the theater, LaSalle and Hines aim to develop a 29-story luxury apartment building with retail and restaurants.
This is going to be something fantastic for the city, but I have mixed emotions because I too wanted to save the theater.
After hearing public comments, nearly all in favor of saving the theater, the Salt Lake City Council discussed a purchase discount for the developers if they invest in city interests. While that contract is being written, opponents still hold out hope.
There are complications with restoring the building and with saving it. But because something's complicated doesn't mean it's not worthwhile.
Yes, and the city is adamant that there is no way to save the theater. They purchased the building back in the end of the recession, back in 2010, for $5 million. Now they're selling it at a loss for $4 million, even though that there is a booming economic building issue here happening in Salt Lake City. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Haley Higgins, Fox 13 News, Utah.